Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about the new moon in February, which is going to be February 17th, and this is a solar eclipse. A solar eclipse is always a new moon. A new moon is when the sun and the moon are exactly conjunct. But in order for it to be an eclipse, it must be within a certain range of Rahu in Ketu. And here we go. We have got a solar eclipse. So this solar eclipse happens at 4 degrees of Aquarius. And this is a powerful placement. It is in the nakshatra called Dhanishta. And Dhanishta is a powerful nakshatra because it's ruled by Mars. And things are really getting heated up during this eclipse. I have lots of revelations to give you because remember, I'm always talking about eclipses as being a time when things are coming out of the dark that we couldn't see before because of the shadow quality of an eclipse. The shadow is cast on the sun. The sun is our light. So I have so much to tell you about this eclipse, but hold on, before I get there, I want to remind everyone to sign up for my free newsletter. Go to galacticcenter.org. And from that, you'll get all of my predictions delivered to your email weekly free. Now, while you're at galacticcenter.org, there's a couple of things I want you to check out. One is my Patreon group. With that, you can be part of our spiritual community. We meet every week and we talk about the most important things here, our spiritual development. That is the crux of that. Now, also while you're there, please recognize and notice that there's my Galactic Planner. You can go directly to galacticplanner.com. It is your guidance every day through your own individual birth chart. So go to galacticplanner.com, try it, you're going to love it. It will give you your personal predictions. Now, most importantly, the month of February, I am starting my university semester 1. Again, if you've always wanted to learn Vedic astrology, now is the time. February 18th starts my initial live class. So go to universityofvedicastrology.com and become my student. All right, so let me tell you about this solar eclipse that is so important. Why do I stress that? Because it's going to bring out the things we didn't know about, especially with the forces that have been making all of the conflicts going on, particularly, well, it's really around the world, but the United States has so many conflicts. People are fighting. They're so separated in their beliefs, in their politics. Everything is really set up that way because people can be more controlled when they are against each other and separate. This is what the revelations are going to reveal with this eclipse. Now, another thing about eclipse seasons that I want you to know is that it is a time of earth changes. Now, eclipses happen twice a year, and like I said, it's when the sun and the moon come together with either Rahu or Ketu. Now, Rahu and Ketu are exactly opposed to each other. So eclipses happen 6 months apart. One with Rahu and 6 months later, one with Ketu. That will occur in August. But right now, we have this eclipse with Rahu, and that's intense. Rahu makes things bigger than life and expands things. And really, I can say this, the stock market will be soaring during this time around the eclipse energy, because Jupiter is actually in an aspect where it is trining the eclipse and all the planets that are lined up at this time in Aquarius. We actually have Venus Rahu at the time of this eclipse exactly conjunct at 14 degrees of Aquarius. This is another indication that wealth, prosperity, money can be made during this time, especially in investing in investments. This is another thing. It's going to make the rich richer during this time. And I think it's also because anything dealing with technology is expanding big time. People are making more money in fields of tech like never before, really. And another thing, going back to the earth changes. When I say earth changes, every time we come around in an eclipse, we have these, like the seismic activity on the earth becomes more intense. So you'll see more volcanic eruptions and more earthquakes. And I also noticed that Uranus is around 3 degrees of Taurus squaring this eclipse degree. So this adds more tension to the unexpected, which is actually what an earthquake is. It's an unexpected change, earth change that happens suddenly. That's Uranus energy. And the fact that Saturn's aspecting Uranus by its third full aspect during this time as well adds more pressure on the earth. More times for, you're going to see things shaking up around this earth. Now, going back to this eclipse, I always talk about the eclipse path. And that is where the eclipse is seen most visibly on Earth. This eclipse happens to be in a very remote area of Antarctica. So wherever the eclipse path is where there's the most turbulence. Now, the closest landmass to this are the very southern parts of South America, Chile, and South Africa. And probably within a zone, it will be New Zealand too, within a distant zone. So this could be where the earthquakes start to really shake the world, get things shook up a lot. This is going to be radical as we see the earth changes. Now, right at the time of this solar eclipse, we also have the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. And like I keep saying, this is a wake up to reality and truth, because Neptune is where we've been deceived and lied to. Saturn brings that reality, and this goes across the board for almost everything that we've been lied to about. As human beings, as mankind, humanity, all these stories that we've been told, we're starting to realize are false. Falsehoods, and this goes back, way back. And this is just a part of our story. As humanity, we're waking up to a truth like never before. That is probably the most substantial, most meaningful thing that this solar eclipse is bringing us. So there's another technique about solar eclipses that I want to share with you, and it's that whenever you have a solar eclipse, that degree in the zodiac, which this eclipse is 4 degrees of Aquarius, is sort of like a landmine. Once you have that set, when you have other planets cross over it, it creates events, but Mars is known to be the trigger of events. And around February 27th and 28th, Mars will cross over that previous eclipse degree of 4 Aquarius. And what that means is something dramatic will happen, and generally Mars deals with attacks. And just so that you know, Mars actually opposed exactly the previous eclipse degree on September 11th, 2001. That brought an attack. So look out, there can be things that can be quite violent occur around the very end of February as Mars crosses over that previous eclipse degree, February 27th, 28th. But another thing prior to that, during the time of this solar eclipse on the 17th of February, we have Mars with Pluto. But most of all, Mars is in Capricorn, which is so powerful. And being in Capricorn, this represents all the changes that are going on around the world within the governments. This is a positively big thing that is occurring. And even people who rule certain countries will be taken out of power. And this has already been happening. And Mars will be in the nakshatra Dhanishta, along with the solar eclipse being in Dhanishta. Dhanishta is a very incredibly difficult nakshatra, if I could say that. As a matter of fact, it causes in people's birth charts problems with marriage, particularly if you have a planet relative to marriage in Dhanishta. This has been known to cause marital problems. So this causes social unrest in the world is what I'm getting at. Mars and Dhanishta, it deals with, well, its symbol is a drum and or a flute. And so what that is, it deals with music, it deals with vibration, frequency. But if you think about these two instruments, they are hollowed out. And what it means is there's a sense of something missing with this nakshatra. People are seeking answers. They're seeking a sense of peace from so much turbulence in the world, while Mars and the eclipse both happen in the nakshatra Dhanishta. This is really an incredible nakshatra when you think about the results that it brings. But it's also about time and timing. This is the time for a big wake-up call as well. And the fact that during this time, Mercury is also in Aquarius. But Jupiter is trining it. As I keep saying, there are so many new inventions coming out. This is the year of a turning point with radical inventions that are going to change our world, change our life, change the future. And Aquarius is the sign that most deals with the heavens and the sky, especially if you go to the nakshatra where Venus and Rahu, particularly Rahu, are in the nakshatra called Shatabhishak. That nakshatra is the sky watcher. And as I keep saying, this is the year of disclosure of the truth. The government is going to give the truth. And I mean on so many accounts, not just the extraterrestrial thing that's being revealed, but also about corruption and things concerning health and healing. There has been a great corruption and a denial of certain healing modalities that have been suppressed for years because of a lot of greed. And that's what I mean by corruption. There is so much that's coming out, and this reality, this truth, will eventually after all the chaos that it causes and the upsets, will bring people together. So first it's dividing the people, but as they wake up, they will come together. And this is the truth and the reality of what's to come. It's the beginning of the wake up, which will eventually raise consciousness on our planet. We're headed in the right direction. Doesn't feel like it, doesn't seem like it, but this is what needs to happen. Everything happens for a divine reason, and now is the time that things are happening for the wake up. This solar eclipse, as I said, is so important in Aquarius, and you're going to find the world changes after this eclipse. Everything is shaking, even the earth. So with that, I think I'll close. If you would like more information on me, just go to my website, galacticcenter.org. Thank you.